Well, here we are, the third race of the 1958 F1 1958 Challenge season, and after the last two disastrous races, I'm hoping to make a vastly improved performance. So let's resume this. This race will be at Zandvoort, which is the Dutch Grand Prix. This is one of my favourite tracks. See, as you can see at the moment, we've got no points on the board. The board's led by Maston Gregory, followed by Graham Hill, Bruce McLaren, Sterling Moss, and Jack Brabham in the top five. Rest in peace, Jack. Unfortunately, he passed away just this week, so that's very heartbreaking to know as an Australian. This is the constructors' standings. Of course, 1958 was the first year for the constructors. So, yeah, we'll go off to qualifying now, and I'll return when I'm done. Well, I don't know how it happened, but the drivers seem to be about 20 seconds faster than me in qualifying, so I ended up qualifying last. So hopefully we don't get stuck in the horrors of this race. Alright, let's get this started. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but we've got to make sure that we're off the line well. And we're off, and we do have a fantastic start, especially in comparison to the other cars around us. Dodging left and right here, ducking down the inside. This is going to be a horrific corner if I get this wrong. And oh, just wheeling it, just trying to get around the outside, dancing around all those cars. I've already moved up to 9th place from 20th on the grid, just in the space of one corner as we approach the start of the second sector here. At the moment I'm ahead of Phil Hill, and I'm behind Chinjun Jagurnan. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Cannot pronounce his name. But by the looks of things, there's 3 Coopers in front of me, and then no, sorry, 2 Coopers in front of me. And no, there's not 2 Coopers in front of me, because all of them have gone off the track. Every single one of them just decided, you know what, I don't want to race anymore, and they've just completely destroyed their own race. I don't even know what was going on there, but that has put us into third? No, fourth. Well, it says third, yeah. I was about to say, geez, make up your mind. We've got T. Brooks ahead of us, and we've got Lewis Evans catching us quickly in the I'm not sure what car he's in. So yeah, he's catching us in that green car, and we better watch our butt, because oh well, we're breaking away from him now in the straight, but I don't know. Around the corners, this car doesn't seem to be so good. So as you can see there, we're coming third. Around the first corner, it's a tight hairpin. You got to be careful on that, because you can get that very wrong if you touch the curbing. The car is bouncing around all over the place, and I really love in this track how the elevation changes are. It really gives a dynamic feel to the race. And there is Lewis Evans right behind me. He's sniffing my rear end, because he sniffs a podium, and I do not want to let him get that podium. We're already 2 laps into a 4-lap race, and I am determined to keep this spot. I want a podium. This dry spell these past 2 races has been completely ridiculous. It's time to change that. Let's go for glory, people. Let's go full retard. We are going for the podium, and there is nothing that the Cooper behind me can do to stop me. My Lotus will be on the podium. I need to get those points. I need to get back in contention, as Sterling Moss and T. Brooks pass the line. There's a close race between those two at the moment, and it's a close race between me and Lewis Evans in the Cooper, and he is looking left and right, up and down, trying to find a space to pass me. I'm not sure whether he's faster or not. It's hard to tell, because he's looking for a gap, and I'm trying to keep the gap on either side of the track as small as possible, sort of planting my car in the middle of the track to make it harder for him to pass. So I'm technically not blocking, although you could say that I am blocking. Whatever, that doesn't matter. I am still ahead of him in the 3rd lap, and looks like from the timesheets here, it looks like it's just the top 4 that is separated from the rest of the field by about 30 seconds, which is a ridiculous lead. But with all the crashes and accidents that happened in the first couple of corners, that's, you know, no wonder. Especially that mass exodus of about 5 cars decided, you know what, we're not going to race anymore. So we're heading up. We're closing in on the final few corners of this lap here. We have one more lap to go after this, and will it be our first podium? I'm trying my best. I can see him in my mirrors, Lewis Evans, as we see another stranded car, and I'm looking left and right, and what is that sound? Oh my goodness, it has started raining and we are on soft tyres. There's 1 lap to go. This is going to change everything. Look at all the cars in the pits there. But this is going to change everything. It started raining on the last lap. What a way to end a race in the wet on dry tyres. Here we go, last lap of Zandvoort. Trying to keep Lewis Evans behind me in these difficult conditions. This car, I thought this car oversteered before, but it's pretty bad now, like with the rain and everything. And by the looks of things, we got a 3rd contender there. That is, I don't know who that is, but that is someone that is looking to steal Lewis Evans' glory as well. So I don't know which car's which, but one's a Van Wall, I'm pretty sure. I think the back one is a Van Wall, and I think Lewis Evans is in a Cooper. And Lewis Evans has just danced around the outside of us there. And we've got Bruce McLaren behind us, sniffing our rear end, and Lewis Evans has just taken off. We have lost that podium. Unless he makes a mistake, that podium is very unlikely now. And Sterling Moss crosses the line to win the Dutch Grand Prix as we round the final corners here in Zandvoort. And there is a glitchy car off onto the left there. But Bruce McLaren is still right behind. No, Bruce McLaren's in front of me. I've got to get a good run here. This is going to be an epic run to the finish. Who will win? And it looks like I have come 4th, scoring my first points in this Formula 1 season. That is a welcome sight to see. And my car, the AI can't drive my car. It just goes to show how bad that Lotus is. The AI can't even drive it. But that's wow, that's a really good result. I'm happy with that, especially when the last lap was drenched. But so it was a Van Wall. Sterling Moss in his Van Wall has come first. Look at that car, that front-engined Van Wall by Sterling Moss, the winner of the Dutch Grand Prix here today. And so this race has been very, very exciting, and I'm raring to go for the next race. And here is the race results. Barely any finishes at all in the race. Most everyone probably spun out in that mass exodus of cars during the beginning of the race. And we've finally put points on the board. That is the standings of Sterling Moss leading Tony Brooks for the driver's standings. And so it's good to see us getting 3 points for our team finally. And the team standings is Van Wall from Cooper from Lotus. So we've put a shitty team up the top, me and Graham Hill, and we're doing a fantastic job. But next race is Indianapolis. The Great American Race is coming up next. So see you guys then. Goodbye.